this morning. One of the things that surprised me was I spotted some long lost friends that I hadn't seen for a very, very long time. And they were these cosmos flowers. I used to have them all over the garden, and periodically they've actually covered large areas of the garden with their sunshiny yellow, gold, and orange flowers. But for the past year, they seem to have disappeared. And I didn't know, I thought maybe they just don't like my garden anymore, they're gone. But after all the rain that we've been having last few days, our rainy season here in Florida has really kicked in. One of the things that surprised me was I spotted some long lost friends that I hadn't seen for a very, very long time. And they were these cosmos flowers. I used to have them all over the garden, and periodically they've actually covered large areas of the garden with their sunshiny yellow, gold, and orange flowers. But for the past year, they seem to have disappeared. And I didn't know, I thought maybe they just don't like my garden anymore, they're gone. But after all the rain that we've been having last few days, our rainy season here in Florida has really kicked in. So seedlings of cosmos coming up, just thousands of them, literally, right? More than I could want. And it reminds me that sometimes we may seem separated from our friends, or we don't see them for a long time. We don't message them or write. That friendship may be just dormant for a while, waiting for a lovely rain to sprout again and to welcome an old friend back into your life, back into the garden of your heart, if you will. So today, honoring that pulsation that you're connected to your friends, even when they're not in your presence all the time. And that the seed of that friendship that you planted may just be waiting dormant, ready to be watered and nourished again, to blossom into the fullness of that experience of being together again. And I'm looking forward to the cosmos, old friends, back in my garden. The butterflies adore them, the bees, and I think the hummingbirds even enjoy them. And so please close your eyes and I invite you to set an intention. Remember that the seeds that you plant for your friendships or whatever it is that you plant in your life, still planted. Nourishment and encouragement may just come into bloom. Set an intention to really honor that dormancy and the ability to break dormancy. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchit Ananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Feel that vibration in your heart and bow to your heart. And release your hands and lift your head and gently open your eyes. And I'll do one sounding of the conch as we find our way to the mats or wherever you're going to do your practice in all fours position. Set the center of your wrist, your outer shoulder width. Spread your fingers evenly, claw the earth, and straighten your arms and get right inside in honor of the pulsation of dormancy and awakening in your life. And right inside, soften between your shoulder blades and begin to breathe the Ujjai breath, long ribbons of breath through the nose that swirl around in the back of your throat. And on your next inhalation, turn your sitting bones up and roll through your spine into cow. And exhale, cat. It's morning here in Florida, even though it's late in the morning. Inhale into cow. So I feel as though I'm awakening my spine. It may have felt dormant. Exhale, cat. Lift the navel, look into your heart. Inhale, turn the sitting bones up, roll through the spine, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale to neutral position. Exhale, both feet to your left and look over at your feet and expand into your right side body. Receive a full breath. Hold as you exhale. Inhale back to center. And exhale, feet to the right. Look over to the right at your feet and invite a deep breath into your left side body. And hold as you exhale. And inhale back to neutral position. Exhale, soften between the shoulder blades without collapsing. Claw the earth with your left hand. Inhale, left leg up and right arm up. There you go. Opposite hand of leg. Exhale, draw in, pull your navel in, bring your knee towards your forehead. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, cat tuck. Pull the navel in, draw in, lift your navel. Inhale, here comes the sun. Exhale, one more, knee towards the forehead. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, hand and knee to the earth. Inhale, other side. Pull the right hand, lift the left arm up, lift your right leg. Exhale, draw the navel in, bring your knee towards your forehead. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, cat tuck. Inhale, stretch out. One more. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, hand to the earth, knee to the earth, cat. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, soften between the shoulder blades, step back to plank. In preparation for down dog, keep your hands and feet where they are, bend the knees a little, turn your sitting bones up to create a lumbar curve. Keep the arch in your low back and come into downward facing dog. Press your hips to the sky. Express the pose in honor of the pulsation of dormancy and awakening. From your heart down into the hands to your hands, from your heart down through your hands, from your heart up to your hips and down through your heels. Hug the midline with your legs. Inhale, right leg up, reach the left heel down, and express the pose from your heart to your hands, from your heart up to the hips, down through the bottom heel, alive through the lifted foot. And on your next exhalation, turn your hips to the right and bend your lifted leg. Lift your head up, look over to the left to see your toes spreading. Wild dog. And on an inhalation, return to level hips, straighten the leg. And exhale, float it back down to the earth and reach down through the right heel. Hug the midline with your legs and lift the left leg from your inner thigh. Express the pose from your heart to your hands, from your heart up to the hips, down through the bottom heel, alive through the lifted foot. And on your next exhalation, turn your hips to the left and bend the lifted leg. Lift your head up, look over to your right to see your toes spreading. Wild dog. Inhale to return to Ekapada, level the hips, straighten the leg. And with the rhythm of your breath, exhale, lower the leg. Receive a full breath. Exhale, child's pose. Pranam. It's like you're going in to a little dormancy between the big awakening of the body, the pulsation, sleeping and awakening, dormancy and awakening. And inhale, return to all fours position. Get right inside. Exhale, soften between the shoulder blades. And inhale back to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, full embrace. Exhale, begin to walk your feet forward towards your hands and come high on your fingertips. Maybe bend the knees a little if necessary. Come high on your fingertips. Firm your legs when they're bent or straight. Long spine. And exhale, bow in. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Bend the knees. Wrap your arms around your legs. Hug your shins in, outer shins in by reaching your little toes towards your outer ankles. Engage and awaken your peroneus muscles. If they've been sleeping, the outer shin muscles, keep them hugging in. Widen your sit bones and thighs. And press the knees as wide as your ankles and hug around your knees. Inhale, long spine, bend the knees a little more, firm around your glutes. Exhale, bow in, begin to straighten the legs any amount whilst keeping the shins hugging in, thighs and sitting bones pressing apart. Inhale, bend the knees, open through your heart. Exhale and bow in. Inhale, bend the knees, hug your shins in, keep your toes, feet active, widen the sit bones. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Bring your hands to the earth. Bow in. Express the pose from the pelvis down through your feet and long through your spine. Inhale, high on your fingertips. Exhale, bend your knees from your legs all the way up to your hips and bring your hands to your hips. Open your heart and root from the pelvis into it to come up through the natural curves in your spine. Receive a full breath and exhale, stand in Tadasana. Inhale, reach to the sky. Fill your space with the power of your intention. And exhale, place it with clarity in your heart. And take the time to feel the vibration of your intentionality. It honors the pulsation of dormancy and awakening today. Right with that intention, gently open your eyes and exhale, bring your arms to your sides. Inhale, reach up and maybe back a little. Exhale, fold forward from your hips over firm legs. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, right leg back to lunge. Hold the lunge with your front knee directly over your ankle. And inhale, draw from the feet towards your pelvis. Exhale, press back out from the pelvis through the bones of your legs along to your spine. On your next inhalation, step forward, high on your fingertips. Exhale, left leg back to lunge. Have the knee directly over your ankle and your wrists in line with your ankle. Inhale, draw from the soles of your feet strongly into the core of your pelvis. Exhale, express the pose back out from the pelvis through the legs, down to the earth of your feet, and along through the spine. Inhale, step forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend your knees, bring your hands to your hips, take the elbows and shoulders back, root from the pelvis into the earth, and come up through the natural curves in your spine and reach to the sky. Exhale, arms to your sides. Inhale, reach up and interlace your fingers. Turn your palms to the sky. Exhale, side bend to your right. Draw the outer left shoulder blade back. Look up a little bit. And receive a full breath so you're bright even on your right side body so there's no pinching or collapsing. And exhale just a little deeper. And root down from the pelvis through both feet to come all the way up and reach up to the index finger metacarpal knuckle. Exhale, press the air down with your hands, grow taller through the crown of your head. Inhale, press through the air, reach to the sky, fill your space with the power of your intention that honors the pulsation of sleeping and awakening. Turn your palms up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Stay bright on your left side body. So that you don't collapse, you go a little deeper. Take the outer right shoulder blade back a little. On your next inhalation, root from the pelvis down to the earth through both feet evenly. Come all the way up, push up through the index finger metacarpals. Exhale, press the air down with your hands, go nice and tall through the crown of your head. Inhale, reach to the sky. The namaskar exploration. Exhale, bow forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, high on your fingertips. Exhale, right leg back to lunge. Inhale to padottansana, the plank pose at the center of your outer shoulder width, soften between your shoulder blades, and keep that as you lower to the earth on an exhalation. Inhale, bhujangasana, small one with bent elbows. And pause for a moment and root from the pelvis into the earth, down through your legs and feet, and move your hands, fingers forward and diagonally of your shoulders, maybe off the mat and wide, and lift up a little more, sides along, move the head of your arm bones back, and begin to move in your upper back. An awakening for the thoracic spine. Maybe that's been a bit asleep, especially if you sit over a computer a lot these days, or you're texting a lot. Get the upper back to awaken, to come out of its dormancy. Just found it so amazing that those seeds, just literally thousands of them, were waiting in the garden to sprout. They were just waiting for the right conditions, the rain. It wouldn't matter how much I watered, actually. That rain really is what made a difference, because I water my garden. Conditions are right. Things just blossom. They just awaken. Bring your hands by the side ribs. Inhale, bhujangasana. Sides long, heads of arm bones back. Sweep back with the hands to open your heart. And exhale to downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Hug the midline with your legs. Inhale, right leg up. Ekapada, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, right foot forward to lunge. Inhale, step all the way forward, high on your fingertips, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, root from the pelvis into the earth to come all the way up through the natural curves in your spine. Maybe reach back a little. And exhale, hands to your heart. Stand tall. Receive a full breath. Exhale, arms to your sides. We'll put all of those pieces together. Inhale, reach up, maybe back a little. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale to plank. Claw the mat, soften between the shoulder blades. Exhale, low to the earth. Keep the heads of your arm bones lifted. Inhale, bhujangasana, cobra. Point your feet, pull back with the hands isometrically to lengthen your spine forward and up. Exhale, downward facing dog with a lumbar curve. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left foot forward lunge. Inhale, step all the way forward to Ardha Uttanasana, high on your fingertips. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, reach to the sky, maybe into a little back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. Receive a full breath. Exhale, arms to your side. And take time to just feel the effect of your practice so far and what's awakening for you now that may have been dormant. The pulsation in the absolute of potential and possibilities is called spanda. It's reflected in dormancy and awakening, sleeping and being awake. And the seasons, everything that pulses, the tides, the cycles of the moon, all of these things pulse, our breath in and out. Please come to standing sideways on your mat, if you're on a mat. And we'll prepare for a few standing poses. And we'll have a block handy in case we'd like to use that as an option. Okay. And we'll start with virabhadrasana 2. Please come into a wide stance and turn your right foot to the right. Align the front heel with the middle of your back arch. Inhale, hug in with your legs with strong. Exhale, bend the front knee right out of your ankle and check that it's over the ankle from front to back and side to side, and invite your spine to be vertical. Keep the front knee tracking a little more towards your little toe on the front foot, but turn your belly and heart more to your left. Take your throat back and turn your head to the right and gaze out over your fingertips and express your pose in honor of the pulsation of dormancy and awakening. And feel what's awakening in your body here. I'm sure it must be the muscles of the front leg. Mine feels like awakening. One more deep breath to descend the front thigh and root down from the pelvis into the earth to come all the way up with power in your legs. Parallel your feet, turn the left foot to the left, align the front heel with the middle of the back arch, and exhale, bend your knee out over your ankle. Keep the leg strong by hugging the midline, and double check that your front knee is directly over the front ankle from front to side, front to back, and side to side. Keep that with the front knee tracking more towards your little toe, ball mount, and turn your belly and heart more to the right. Slide your throat back first in order to turn your head more effectively to gaze out over your left fingertips. Express your pose with intentionality that honors the pulsation of dormancy and awakening from the pelvis to the bones of the legs down to the earth and up through the crown of your head. Notice what's awakening for you. And root down to inhale and come all the way up with power in your legs. Bring your hands to your hips. Hug the midline with your legs for stability. Inhale, lift your heart for prasarita, padottanasana. Keep your legs strong all the way up to your glutes. Exhale, bow from your hips with a lumbar curve, the arch in the low back. And come high in your fingertips. Maybe use the block there so you can create a lumbar curve. Keep the lumbar curve at first. See if you can go a little further towards the earth without losing the lumbar curve. Hold. Keep your legs strong. And if you can bring your sacrum below your hips or forward of the hips towards the earth, then you come to stage 1 of forward bend. After you have that stage 1, feel free to then exhale and round all the way over. Walk your hands towards in line with your feet. And invite your head between your hands and feet. Prasarita, padottanasana. Also, a great option to remain high upon your fingertips to work towards stage 1, with bringing the sacrum and lumbar spine forward of the hips. Whatever your expression of the pose is, express it with power of intention from the heart. The action is actually expressed from the pelvis down through your feet and from deep in the low belly down through the crown of your head into your fingers. Perhaps you feel an awakening to your adductor muscles, the inner thighs, the hamstrings. And on an inhalation, come high upon your fingertips. And bring the left hand to the center of your heart on the floor. Bring the right hand to your hip. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, turn your heart to the right. Resist, deepen low belly to your left. Lengthen your sides. Pin the heads of your arm bones back, especially the right one, and consider reaching up. Express your pose from the pelvis down through your feet and long through your spine, from your heart to your fingers. Parvrtta, prasarita, padottanasana. The twisted, spread apart feet, intense stretch pose. Keep the low belly resisting to the left, turn your heart more to the right. And on an inhalation, come up out of the twist and switch the hands. Bring the right hand to the earth, left hand to your hip. Inhale, long spine with strong legs. Exhale with just a low belly to the right. Turn your heart to the left. Pin the top shoulder back and reach up. Keep resisting the low belly to your right. And turn the heart to the left. Now the muscle circling your knees. Muscles in my legs had been quite dormant for a while, especially on my left leg. I had a fractured patella kneecap. So I'm trying to get those to re-engage and strengthen, to awaken. And on the inhalation, come up out of the twist, lengthen your spine. Exhale, strong legs, bow in if appropriate for you, or hold in stage one. Inhale high on your fingertips, firm your legs, bend the knees a little. Feel the strength in your legs and bring your hands to your hips. Take the elbows and shoulders back to open your heart. Root from the pelvis into the earth to come all the way up, nice and strong in your legs. And bend the knees to step to mountain pose and take this opportunity to feel and notice what has awakened for you in this experience. And gently open your eyes if they're closed. And consider using a block for the next one. We'll move into uttitha trikonasana, extend triangle pose. Hold the block into your right hand and step into a wide stance. We'll do it 2 times on each side. So you have an opportunity to use the block on the first time, and then the second time you may or may not want to use it, depending on your body and what feels right for you. Touch in halfway with your right heel, turn the right toes to the right, and hug the midline with your legs. Draw in from the feet in towards the center. Feel your legs strong, and inhale, reach out with your arms. Push your thighs back. Exhale to touch the earth on the outside of the front leg. Bring your top hand to your hip for a moment, and the leg's still strong. Resist the tops of your thighs back, especially the top of the back leg. Keep that back and scoop the front leg hip under. Tone your low belly and turn the belly and your heart more towards the sky. Lengthen your sides. Move the heads of your arm bones back. And in the top, reach the top hand to the sky. Look straight to the side first. Take your throat back so your cheekbones line up more with your collarbones. And then turn your head to look up at the top wrist. Turn your heart, look up. Express the pose from the pelvis down to the earth through your feet and long through your spine and out to your fingers. If it's hard to balance, you can continue to look sideways or even look at the earth. Just careful that your head isn't hanging. Try to get the head long through your spine from the pelvis all the way to the crown of your head, whichever variation you've chosen. One more deep breath here. To exhale and express the pose more fully from the pelvis down and from the pelvis long through the spine, out through your fingers. On your next inhalation, take your block and root down to come up, parallel your feet, and shift the block to the left hand. Cut in halfway with the left heel. Turn your left toes to the left. Align the front heel accurately with the center of the back arch. Hug in with your legs and push your thighs back to exhale and bring the block to the outside of the front leg. Bring your top hand to your hip. Resist the tops of your thighs back, especially the top of the back leg. Keep that and scoop the front leg hip under. And tone your low belly and turn your belly. Turn your heart. Lengthen your sides. Move the heads of your arm bones back and reach up. Glide your throat back in order to turn your head more effectively if you choose to do that. And express your pose from the pelvis down to the earth through your feet. Deepen the low belly, long through your spine, and out to your fingers. Enjoy your breath. And feel what's awakening for you in this experience of being. What has been waiting to just come alive in your experience? And on your next inhalation, root strongly from the pelvis into the earth to come all the way up. Strong in your legs, parallel your feet, and either take the block to the first side or you can take the block aside. Touch in with the right heel, turn your right toes to the right. Inhale, reach out with the arms and hug in with your legs. Exhale into triangle pose. Push your thighs back. Scoop the front leg hip under. Move the heads of your arm bones back. Glide your throat back. And choose we're going to look or gaze. I have to close my eyes now because the sun has come out blazing. Seemed as though it was in a dormancy the last few days with all the rain we've had, but here it is, surprising me with its brilliance. And on your next inhalation, root from the pelvis down to the earth to come all the way up. So I chose this spot because I thought it was going to be overcast. Oh, there it goes, back behind a cloud. Turn the left foot to the left, firm your legs, and inhale, reach out with your arms, push your thighs back. To exhale and touch the earth or the ground with a block. Resist the tops of your thighs back, but scoop the front leg hip under more, and turn your belly and your heart towards the sky. Take the throat back in order to adjust your head and neck and express your pose. Run the pelvis through the bones of your legs and long through your spine, out to your fingers. And root from the pelvis into the earth strongly to inhale and come all the way up. And parallel your feet with one another. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your hips. Step the legs to mountain pose. Bring your arms to your sides. And enjoy your breath. And feel the effect of your practice so far. Gently open your eyes. We'll move into warrior one. We'll step into a wide stance. Bring your hands onto your hips. Tuck in with your left toes. And lift the left heel and take it back. So the left foot turns in about 2/3 of the way. And roll the left thigh in. And turn your hips towards the right. And lastly, turn out your right foot. And check if you have heel to heel alignment or slightly wider laterally. So the right foot could be a little bit further to the right, left one a little bit further to the left, but that helps you to feel more secure in your balance. Hug the midline with your legs to even increase your sense of stability. Keeping that stability, root down through the big toe ball mound of the front foot and draw from that foot all the way up into your right hip to bring it back and bring the left hip forward and resist the left inner thigh up to keep the outer left heel reaching down more. Even if it doesn't reach the ground, keep it reaching in action. And receive a full breath. Lengthen your sides, bring the arms forward. Exhale, heads of arm bones back. Keep hugging the midline. Inhale, reach to the sky. Breathe into your back waistline and back ribs. Turn the belly and heart more to your right. Exhale, bend the front knee right out over your ankle. Keep resisting the back inner thigh up in order to keep the outer back heel rooting towards the earth, even if it doesn't reach. Express the pose from the pelvis down into the earth, through your feet, and from the low belly up to your spine and to your fingers. On your next inhalation, reach strongly into the earth through your feet to come all the way up, straightening the legs and parallel your feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Touch in with your right toes. Take the right heel back. Right foot turns in about 2/3 of the way. Roll the right thigh in, turn your hips for left. Turn out the left foot and align your heels, or you can take the feet a little bit wider laterally. Left foot to the left more, right one to the right, walk necessary. Hug into the midline for greater stability, and keeping that, press the big toe ball mound of the left foot down and draw your left hip back. Turn your belly and heart more towards the left. Resist your back inner thigh up. Inhale, reach your arms forward, lengthen your sides. Exhale, draw the heads of your arm bones back. Inhale, reach up, breathe into the back waistline. Exhale, bend the front knee right out of the ankle while still resisting the back inner thigh up in order to keep the back outer heel rooting towards the earth. And express the pose from your pelvis down onto your feet. And from the low belly, up to your spine, to your fingers. Notice what's awakening for you. What's coming out of dormancy here? Feel your aliveness. And root from the pelvis into the earth. You inhale and come up strong in the legs. Parallel your feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your knees. And step to mountain pose. And feel the effect of warrior one. Invite your heart rate and your breath to slow down. Savor this awakening. We'll move into a variation of parvrtta next. The intense stretch to the side. So to do this pose today, we could take the fingertips to the earth, or we can choose to bring the hands in namaste back as an option. We didn't do a lot of shoulder openers early on, so hands behind you in namaste position is not an option at this time. You can hold your elbows or just do fingertips to the earth. Let's step into a medium to wideish stance and cut in with the left toes. Take the left heel back, roll the left thigh in just like warrior one, and turn your belly and your hips towards the right. Lastly, turn out the right foot. Hug the midline for stability. If that doesn't feel stable for you, or it's hard to get your hips square to the direction you're facing and level with the earth, you move your feet closer to each other and wider laterally. Once you've got your foundation set, continue to hug the midline and either hands on the hips or hands namaste back or holding your elbows. Inhale, lift your heart a little, zip from the low belly to the sternum. Exhale, bow forward halfway over the front leg. Keep the front leg strong. And reassess, are your hips still square and level? And shift the organs of the abdomen over to your right. And exhale, bow over the front leg. So fingertips could be on the earth, or you can have your hands in namaste back or hold your elbows. Your choice. Express the pose from the pelvis down to your feet, especially the big toe ball mound on the front foot and the outer heel of the back foot. And root from the pelvis into the earth to come all the way up through the natural calves in your spine and parallel your feet. Take your hands on your hips or keep them in namaste back. Cut in halfway, cut in with your right toes. Take the right heel back to that foot. Actually turns in about 2/3 of the way. Roll the right thigh in, turn your hips to the left. Lastly, turn out the left foot. Hug into the midline with your legs for stability. Adjust your foundation as necessary. Press the big toe ball mound down on the front foot. Bring the left hip back more, the right hip forward more. And keeping that, zip from the low belly to your sternum and inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bow from your hips, halfway, pause, feel whether the hips have remained level and square. And on your next exhalation, bow forward over the front leg. Shift the organs of the abdomen over to the left. Keep muscles around the front knee strong. You may have hands in namaste here or hold your elbows. Root from the pelvis into the earth, especially towards the outer back heel. As you inhale, come all the way up through the natural calves in your spine. Parallel your feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your knees and step to mountain pose. My mat is getting quite hot from the sun. I can feel that happening. Stand tall. Enjoy your experience of being and the awakening you're having to being alive in this moment as you are. Maybe sense what has come out of dormancy for you. It wasn't like that potentiality wasn't already there. Just awakening. We awaken to sleep. Sleep to awaken concealment and revelation. Spanda, pulsation. And gently open your eyes. And inhale. Root from the pelvis into the feet and rise from the low belly up to the sky, nice and long and symmetrical. Exhale, bend your knees, uttanasana, the fiercely awkward pose. One more deep breath here. Exhale, go lower, root your heels towards the earth as best you can to come into a squat and touch the earth. And you can sit down and come on to your back. I'm going to take another mat that I have here that's cooler and put it on top of this one so they don't just roast. There we go. Find your way to lying on your back. And reach long from the pelvis to your feet. From the pelvis long through your spine, out through your fingers. Sense what has awakened for you. What has come out of dormancy. Just honor that. And even the things that you know are dormant in your life, know that the seeds may be just waiting there for the right season, the right conditions to awaken. Just like the cosmos surprised me. I kind of missed them and thinking, oh my, I kind of miss those cosmos, but maybe they're gone. And lo and behold, they reappeared. And bend your knees and bring your feet about as wide as your mat, or if you're not on a mat, just about as wide as your outer hips or a little wider, and your arms out to the side. Receive a full breath. Exhale both knees to your left. And so we're in a little twist here. I'm getting internal rotation on the right leg. To encourage that, you may place your left foot on top of your right thigh or knee if that feels wonderful to you, without forcing anything. Lengthen your sides and move the heads of your arm bones back, down into the earth. If you'd like to turn your head as well, start by looking straight up. Tip your left ear towards your knees or left shoulder, and then turn your head to your right. Enjoy your breath. Just because something is hidden from our view or our experience doesn't mean it doesn't exist or the potential for it isn't there. That's concealment. It's one of the 5 acts of Shiva. And the other one is revelation. When something or the possibility and potential is revealed to us, we see it and experience it, or something sprouts or awakens. Concealment and revelation, 2 of the 5 acts of Shiva, the Pancha Krityas, the 5 acts. You turn your head to neutral and release the top foot from your knee if it was there, and inhale, bring your knees up. Follow the breath to exhale your knees to your right, and consider as an option taking the right foot on top of your left thigh or knee. And just feel and notice the inner rotation in the left hip. So this is a counter pose for some of the other poses that we did in external rotation. A little inner rotation, and you also get a nice twist here. To bring the twist into the neck, at first, look up, look straight to the sky, and tip before you turn your head. Tip your right ear toward your right shoulder or knees, and exhale, turn your head to your left. Move the heads of your arm bones towards the earth and enjoy your breath. dormancy, and awakening are manifestations of concealment and revelation. Two of the pancha krityas, 5 acts of Shiva. The other 3 are creating, sustaining, and dissolving. And return your head to neutral. Release the top foot from your knee if it's on there. Inhale to bring your knees back up. And to finish our practice symmetrically, I invite you to take your hands onto the kneecaps and cup the kneecaps with your hands and straighten your arms, spread your toes, and press down from your knees through your thigh bones towards your sitting bones. And notice the lumbar curve, how it tones away from the earth. So we're toning the lumbar region of the spine back to its natural curve and placing the heads of the femur bones, thigh bones, clearly in their sockets, which can be very calming to the nervous system, bring us into greater symmetry for Shavasana. One more deep breath here. And release your legs. Allow them to roll out as they naturally will. Turn your palms face up. Shavasana. Rest in the vibration and pulsation of your intention that honors dormancy and awakening, which are expressions of concealment and revelation. 2 of the pancha krityas, the 5 acts of Shiva. Relax down into your feet, and through your legs, around your knees, your thighs, your hamstrings. And release the weight of your pelvis towards the earth. Relax all around your abdomen and your lower back, the middle of your back, and soften in the upper back and around your chest and ribs. Soften around your shoulders and relax through your arms all the way to your palms, out to your fingers. Soften all the muscles circling your neck and throat. And release the weight of your head towards the earth. And simply bathe in the vibration of intentionality that honors concealment and revelation through our intention of recognizing dormancy and awakening. Release. Gently breathe yourself back to the space and time. And sense your body, your mind awakening to being here now. Deepen your breath. Enjoy the breath moving you from inside. She is the goddess of life, the prana Shakti. Prana is life force energy, and Shakti is creative power of consciousness. And invite gentle movement into your fingers and toes. And little by little, gently extend the movement into your arms and legs. Begin to move, lengthen even through your spine. Coming out of the dormancy of corpse pose, shavasana, to awaken to the fullness of the experience of being in the world. Lengthen from the pelvis out through your feet. Lengthen out through your spine, through your fingers, and on an exhalation, please bend your knees and roll to your right, padottanasana. And use your right arm as a pillow for your head and neck, and pause for a few breaths. Turn your heart more towards the earth. Keep your head low and your legs very relaxed. Use your hands and arms to gradually find your way up to seated. As you come to seated, take the time to sit well. To sit well, consider doing a manual inner spiral on each leg by rolling the front of the thigh in and moving the sitting bones back diagonally. From low belly, it's enough to support nice lumbar curve. Bring your shoulders over your hips, glide your throat back, stack the head right on top, so the hips, shoulders, and ears align with one another, and just close your eyes. And sense the power and effect of your practice. Practice that honors dormancy and awakening, concealment and revelation, the pulsation. If there's anything that particularly touched you today in a way that was life enhancing and brought you a greater sense of your blissful nature, I invite you to consider setting an intention now to return to that again and again throughout your day. That the practice of yoga can become a way of being for you rather than just something we do on Zoom together on a mat. Honoring that we've had this time together, please bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. And we'll offer our voices in a concluding Om. Receive the fullness of your breath. Om. Feel that vibration in your heart and bow to your heart. Thank you ever so much for joining me in this practice of recognizing and honoring dormancy and awakening.